DSM ShootOut 2019 is almost here. What is this? The 27th running, I think. Yeah, 27th. August 16th, 17th, and 18th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at Summit Motorsports Park in Norwalk, Ohio. Only like 6 weeks or so from the date that I'm recording this. My first shootout was sometime in like 2007, and I've only missed a handful since then. So for 2019, IDRC is bringing back the max effort class. So I'll be racing a shootout for the first time in something like 10 years of attending. The max effort class combines autocross and drag racing all in one day. It's on Saturday. You add your times together, and you know whoever has the lowest class, the lowest number in your class wins. An added benefit is Toyo picked up the class as sponsor, so a podium finish pays double prize money. First, second, third will pay prize money. If you're on Toyo tires, you get double your prize money. Two important rules for max effort: you must drag race on the same tires that you autocrossed on, and your tires must have a full tread pattern. So says the rules. And honestly, I wasn't excited about this, as I've been autocrossing on Hoosier A7s, which are basically slicks. And I was hoping to do the drag racing on M&H Racemaster bias ply slicks. So I called the guys at IDRC. They're super cool guys, and they gladly talked it out with me. And this is what they had to say. The max effort class aims to target street cars, so there are tire rules to encourage competitors to use a tire more like what you'd see running around on the street. Something I had considered doing was taking a tire knife to my A7s to give them a tread pattern, and I told the guys at IDRC this, to which they laughed, but they agreed doing so would fit the rules as the rules are currently written. I'm not going to cut up my A7s. So a few days later, I ordered a set of Toyo R888Rs. I got 255s for the front and 235s for the rear, since the car is a front driver. The R888R is the lowest tread wear tire with a full tread pattern that Toyo makes, and I'm hoping to hit a podium spot and double my winnings being on the Toyos. Here's what I was thinking with those tire sizes: 255 front and 235 rear. The Hoosier A7s have a 40 treadwear compound that heats up quickly and are very well suited to autocross. The Toyos have a 100 treadwear compound that is more suited for track use. It doesn't heat up as quickly as that A7 compound. So I purchased the Toyos in a wider size than what I had been running with the A7s, hoping that the wider size would make up for the harder compound. And man, was I surprised when I found out that 225 A7 that I was running on all four corners, when mounted on my 17 by 9 RPF ones, had the same measured width as the Toyos on those same RPF ones. And by the same, I mean the 225 Hoosiers were just as wide as the 255 Toyos. And the 235 Toyos are actually smaller. It's a good thing I got those 255s, huh? I didn't gain any bit of additional rubber on the front end, and I lost some rubber on the rear end. It may work out though. Front drivers have a hard time getting the rear tires up to temp, and a smaller tire will heat up quicker. It has to work harder. That's what I'm telling myself at least. So I ran one autocross in the Toyos, and they're definitely different from the Hoosiers. They want a higher initial pressure, and they just don't have the same feel, which is to be expected. Cars that I was regularly competing with or beating are now ahead of me by a couple seconds or so. It's not a big deal that I'm losing to cars at my local autocross though, because I only have to beat other DSMs, which are also going to be running on treaded tires. So maybe somebody will show up on some rivals on some RE71s or something like that. At that point we're going to race, so it'll be fun. I also made it to the drag strip just one night to test how the Toyos would be for drag racing, and they suck. The best 60 foot I could manage out of 5 passes was 2.3 seconds with a best ET of 1380 at like 104 mile per hour trap speed. So front wheel drive sucks. but those Toyos just, they will not go off the line. You know, lots of pedal in it, lots of wheel spin, lots of just praying that I can get the second gear and make something happen. So for comparison, the M&H Race Masters, those Bi-Sply slicks that I have, they get the car to a 1320 at 106 mile per hour with a 2-second 60 foot. Yes, I definitely need more seat time with that kind of 60 foot on a tire, but I managed that 1320 on only the second pass on those drag slicks. So, you know, 5 passes on the Toyos netted me a 2.3, and the second hit on the slicks, and I got a 2.0 60 foot. I mean, it's noticeably different. The car drives entirely different, which to be expected. One tire is a track tire, the other is, you know, purebred for drag racing. So the car was having some issues that night with the alternator. It's dying. It's hit or miss on its output, so that affects your injectors and your fuel pump when you're at 7,000 RPM at the top of third. So there were a couple times I had to lift due to the check engine light flashing, telling me that we were hitting knock, which was probably due to the fact that we were creeping up on 13.0 AFRs. Most other runs, the AFRs are mid to high 11s, and I'm getting no knock. So it's an intermittent weird thing that's not tied to intake air temp. So I'm hoping that swapping out the alternator will fix it. And you know, the new alternator is already in the mail. It was hot as hell that night, but Norwalk's probably going to be hot too. So I think that's a good analogy, good practice. I might do some more to the car to get that quarter-mile time down, like a fuel pump and adjustable pressure regulator. I could turn up the boost some more. I might even put a different turbo on it. You know, my plan was to focus on the autocross portion, knowing that I wouldn't do as well in the quarter. But I'm worried about running a 14-second quarter mile on those Toyos. It puts a lot of pressure on, you know, that autocross performance. So we'll see. Another thought I've had floating around in my head is to run the 1250 index class that races on Sunday. I'd only have to make a single qualifying pass sometime Friday or Saturday, and I'd be good to go for Sunday. But if the car isn't even close to running 1250s, I don't know that I want to hand over my money just to help fill up the prize pool. You know, 6/10 isn't super far off since I could run the drag slicks. But I feel like, you know, if I can't improve on that, then it's just kind of a waste. I mean, I certainly can improve on my 60 foot with some more seat time on those drag slicks. And, you know, there's also plenty of time between now and shootout to get some more power out of the car and probably hit that 1250 at something like 115 miles per hour, you know, if that 1320 at 106 is any indication. I'll make up my mind in the next week or so and work to have the car as ready as possible. I've been doing some small stuff here or there, working on body panels, getting more weight out of the car, you know, just all small things that, you know, a hoopty cheap DSM needs done. So anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble about max effort. If you're at shootout, want to come chat with me, you know, want to come hang out, just stop by my pit area and hang out for a bit. Yeah, it'd be really good to talk to anybody new that I could possibly meet. See you next vid. Hey, before I go, I forgot I wanted to tell my dad, Matt, thank you very much for helping me get these tires mounted and balanced. He takes his time out of his day. He teaches adult auto mechanics at a vocational school. Always super helpful on stuff like this. I don't have access to these machines out of my garage. So thank you very much, Dad. I appreciate it. So the rest of you guys, see you next time.